You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It is the Prepared Mind channel. This is Zero Dark 30, and we are blasting out of the bunker. Wow, Monday morning. I love Mondays. I've got a doozy here for you because it's going to twist your head in circles. That's the idea, folks, is I want you to think, to have the prepared mind as your own very powerful tool. All of the things you have, food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, those are all tools. Those are all supplies. Those are all necessary items to have, but it includes the mind. Without the mind, you've got nothing else. You just have stuff. You need to be prepared mentally. So, why am I talking like that? Because it's true. Look at how these people out here are acting and behaving in the world. They're lost. They're lost. They're not ready to accept reality. People think it's cute to support terrorism because they don't understand the consequences of their thoughts. So I'm going to ask you, do you understand the consequences of your thoughts? Does your understanding of the enemy, does it rise to the level of fact and the coming problems? So let's go for it. We have one example already, but I want to ask you before we do this, are you ready to see who's going to lose and who is going to win? Do you know what it takes to win? Are you willing to deal with winning this battle, this Armageddon, this SHTF battle, war? And it's almost galactic in size, folks. It covers all things. It is not just a political war. It is not just a religious war. It's not just an interdimensional, spiritual, timeless war. It's everything. Somebody has to lose. There is no coexistence. Satan does not get to share the throne with the Almighty. Right? All the devils and demons don't get to sit down and play cards with the archangels and the angels and the good people and hang out in heaven. There is no coexisting with evil. So somebody has to lose. Somebody has to die, is where I'm going with this. Are you ready to do more than just contemplate that? See, a lot of people aren't even ready to contemplate it. Let me explain. We have the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. He sees some burned bodies and he wants to cry. The news lady in Australia, she wants to cry. People around the world, they want to cry when they see what's going on. Yeah, it is a horrible tragedy. And tears, you bet. Lots of tears. Lots of sorrow. Lots of wishing it wasn't this way. But this is the way it has to be. Not because you want it or I want it, folks. They, the evil ones, are choosing these wars. They're choosing all of these fights across all of time. But today we're in this situation. A situation where the world is interconnected for communications. It's interconnected for finance. It's interconnected for travel. In other words, you can think a message, send a message, provide the sustenance to make that message happen, and then get there and do it. In other words, from the thought to the action, the evil can happen in a matter of moments at the quickest, and days, right, at the longest. It doesn't take much to make it happen, folks. An idea, some money, the tools are there, and so can the people. So, they're now lamenting the fact that a 6-year-old boy, just turned 6, was killed in an anti-Muslim hate crime, I think in New York. Terrible, tragic. Somebody has to lose. People want to lament the loss of the 6-year-old boy. People want to lament the death of all the babies in Israel. Someone wants to lament the kidnapping, torture, and rape of Israeli IDF soldiers. And they should. But folks, I have to ask the question, right? Somebody has to lose, yes? Am I wrong? Or can we just go on just slowly pecking away at each other? Well, that's been the idea for a while. Let's learn to coexist. How's that working? At some point, the fight is going to happen. The big fight. Are you prepared to deal with it? How many shovels do you own? Because you're going to be burying a lot of bodies. How many shovels? Are you ready to deal with this? Somebody is going to have to lose this fight. That means women and children. That means civilians and military. That means governments and nations are going to have to fail and fall. Naive wishing for peace is the surest way to encourage an aggressor. I've heard that somewhere. Probably spies like us. I don't naively wish for peace, because it's through naivete that you give away, right? That you make yourself weak, that you allow the enemy to come after you. Right? You expose yourself. Well, we don't have that. We're purposefully informed, ready, and understanding. And I don't want it to happen. I truly don't. But it may, and it should, and it is, and it will. Folks, whatever is coming is coming. If you think it's just going to end and we're all going to start singing Kumbaya, and Palestinians are going to hold hands and sing songs with the Israelis, and the Iranians are going to come over and they're going to hug Americans, and the Ukrainians are going to start hugging and dancing the Russians, and China is going to give up its hopes for Taiwan, you're sorely and gravely mistaken. So get ready. Someone has to lose. And it's not going to be, oh my God, they killed a few Palestinians. Okay, the Palestinians have given up. Shoot, they killed another 1,000 Israelis. They're gonna leave the country. They're gonna flee. They're gonna give them Israel back. I'm gonna ask you this question. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, the Israelis say, you know what, you're right, we've been very bad. Very, very bad. We're a bunch of colonizers, and we came 100 years ago to Palestine, and through a treaty that Britain put together, England, we stole the land, and we're colonizers, and we're giving it back. We're going away. And the Israelis dispersed themselves amongst all the nations. They did a new neo-diaspora. Do you think for a second that radical Islam wouldn't pursue them to the corners of the earth? Because now they've admitted to being evil. Now they're like, see, we knew it, they were bad. And they've given up and they're weak and they no longer have an army to protect them. They're now divided across the face of the planet, and we can hunt them down, like they hunted down the Nazis. We can hunt them down and go after them. There is no coexisting, folks. Somebody has to lose. There's a war coming. You and I don't get to decide, right, when it starts. We don't get to decide when it stops. All we get to do is fight our way through it. Are you prepared for that? It seems like such a simple question to ask. But the question, right, or rather the consequence of the question is the hard part to contemplate. I can say somebody has to lose, but what does that mean? That means all of the enemy are dead, extinguished, killed, done, gone. I'll say again, somebody has to lose. Is it going to be people who love freedom, or is it going to be communists? Is it going to be the, let's try this one, the pro-Israel world or the anti-Israel world? There, how's that for sounding all clean and secular? Who is going to win this? It used to be you could exile people, persons, individuals, and people, collective. And they would have to go somewhere and they weren't allowed back, and therefore everyone could live in peace, but they would at least live. Not so anymore. Nope, not so anymore. You can reach out and affect people with communications, with money, with weapons. Freedom is an idea, folks. It's hard to kill an idea. Hatred is an idea. It's hard to get rid of that, isn't it? The people that hate you, your freedom. They hate Israel. They hate everyone. They hate our civilization. They hate law and order. But the religion of peace has no peace in it until everyone is dead. And even then, they fight amongst themselves. The West isn't much better, folks, if at all. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you see that somebody has to lose? Who's it going to be? Chance favors the prepared mind is yours.